Hello everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a powerful conversation Jesus had with his disciples. He was preparing them for the work they were called to do, not just in their time, but for the future as well. And these words aren't just for them. They hold a practical message for every one of us today. So I want to ask you, are you aware of the day we're living in? First, it's a day of obligation. In Matthew 10, Jesus says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves." This wasn't just for the original disciples. If you're a believer, you've been commissioned by Christ to share the good news. We're ambassadors for the King. It's great to gather in church, but our calling doesn't stop there. We're meant to go forth, not keep this incredible treasure locked away. Our obligation also extends to our character. Jesus instructs us to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. It's a fascinating balance. We need wisdom to navigate the world cautiously, to sense danger, and to know when to speak and when to stay silent. Avoiding fruitless conflict isn't weakness. It's wisdom. At the same time, we're to be harmless as doves, a symbol of peace, purity, and gentleness. So much damage has been done by professing Christians who lack a tender, loving nature. We're called to be lights in the world, blameless and harmless. And finally, we have an obligation to our commitment. Jesus warns, "Thou shalt be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved." The Christian life isn't promised to be easy. We will face adversity. But he isn't saying we have to work to earn our salvation. He's saying that those who are saved have an obligation to stand firm, to endure, to remain faithful even when it's hard. What would it take for you to give up? So many walk away when things get tough, or even when things are going well and they feel they don't need God, but he was committed to the cross for us. Surely we can be committed to serving him until the very end. Next, we live in a day of opposition. Jesus said he sends us as sheep among wolves. We need to stay close to our shepherd. And where does this opposition come from? Interestingly, Jesus first points to organized religion. He warns, "They will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues." Jesus himself faced most of his problems from religious people. Throughout history, those who clung to tradition often opposed the simple truth of the gospel. We see it today. Stand on Jesus as the only way to salvation, and you'll face pushback, even from religious circles. Opposition also comes from oppressive rulers. Jesus said his followers would be brought before governors and kings. The Apostle Paul lived this out, and we see it happening today. There are governmental forces that want to dictate what can be preached, to silence the truth about sin and repentance. The principles our nations were founded on are under attack. Perhaps most painfully, opposition can come from our own relatives. Jesus said, "Brother shall deliver up brother to death, and the father the child." This will be extreme in the end times, but many today have been rejected by their own families for their faith. Maybe you know what that feels like. Maybe you were raised in a home that couldn't accept that you'd been saved and no longer desired the old ways. It's hard, but remember, even Jesus was rejected by his own. But here's the good news. Even with all the challenges, we are living in a day of opportunity. These difficult days are also exciting days. We have the opportunity to serve. What an incredible privilege. Jesus, the one who bought our redemption, has called us to serve him. It's not a burden. It's a blessing. The trials we face are nothing compared to what he endured for us. What an honor to serve the King. We also have the opportunity to share. Persecution, as tough as it is, can open doors to be a witness for Christ. When we stand before people in authority or face rejection from friends, it becomes a platform to share what he has done for us. There are countless people who have never heard the good news. We need to use every chance we get to tell them. As Jesus said, "What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light." Finally, this is our opportunity to surrender. Jesus promises something amazing. He says when you're brought before authorities, "Take no thought how or what thou shalt speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what thou shalt speak. For it is not that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you." This is a promise for those who have completely surrendered to God, who are leaning solely on him. As life gets harder, we must learn to trust him more deeply. We have the chance to fully surrender and draw strength from his mighty power. You will never make it in this world without him, so yes, we live in difficult times. There are obligations and opposition. But these are also days of immense opportunity. Are you aware of the day? Are you willing to stand for Jesus, to share his message, and to endure in faith? You can't serve Christ without a relationship with him, and that starts with salvation. If you haven't made that decision, I urge you to respond today. For the rest of us, let's seize the opportunity He's given us. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this message.